Trading platform Robinhood found itself in the center of controversy today, and the water is only starting to boil. After a series of Robinhood bans on high-flying Reddit stocks like GameStop and AMC Entertainment, a Robinhood class action lawsuit has been filed in the Southern District of New York. In this video, I will share my thoughts and conclusion and what does it mean for small retail investors like you and me. Moreover, I recorded a short interview with a lawyer, his name is Matt Powell, to give you more facts to consider. Okay, my friends, I'm sure you know that by Friday 29th, Robinhood had partially reversed the decision, but not before getting smacked with at least two class action lawsuits. The lawsuit claimed the company has harmed retail investors by preventing them from profiting by buying the stock or selling each short. Following Robinhood's decision, the stock's price dropped. The suit alleges Robinhood's actions were done purposely and knowingly to manipulate the market for the benefit of people and financial institutions who were not Robinhood's customer. Let me show how does it look this A-class lawsuit. This is a very long document, and if you want to read several hours reading it, you can find a lot of facts about this lawsuit, who are participants, and what lawyers plan to do in this case. And I think you know that thousands of investors are using a consumer-focused online service called don'tpay.com to automatically join a class action lawsuit against trading platform Robinhood. Don'tPay CEO Joshua Browder added the ability to join the Robinhood class action lawsuit Thursday after receiving hundreds of messages from enraged users. He tells CNBC Make It, Robinhood is not acting in the consumer's best interest, Browder said. A lot of users who sign up aren't the most sophisticated investors. One more law firm, Chapman Albin LLC, based in Cleveland, Ohio, which specializes in investments and financial fraud, has prompt on its homepage titled "Are you a Robinhood user who suffered losses?" along with a way for people to submit information. Okay, let's get deeper into what it means for investors and what should be done in order for a lawsuit to be successful. There is one huge problem with the main requirement of the lawsuit. Basically, lawsuits generally require that investors prove they have been damaged in some form. A private individual like me has to say in a court that they have been damaged by some amount. The problem is that in this requirement to be able to prove your damages. Okay, before going further in details, let's call Matt Powell, a certified lawyer I personally know, and address him some questions regarding a Robinhood A-class action lawsuit. Hi, Matt. Thank you so much for a chance to ask you several questions. You are a lawyer, I'm not. So I will appreciate if you answer two questions that I have. So the first question, what does this Class A lawsuit means for retail investors like me?
Well, the class action lawsuits that have been filed and we're working on are really saying that Robinhood and a couple other brokers breached the trust that they should have had with their customers because they halted trading and as a result caused a lot of financial damage to their customers. And a class action lawsuit is set up so that because the people have similar damages and the interests are very much aligned, that um, we want to get in front of the right court. Although I believe some or most of the exchanges we're going to sue have arbitration clauses. So customers may have waived their jury trial, they may not have. Sometimes when they commit fraud, they can't really rely on an arbitration clause. So those are some of the issues that we're looking at today. It's obviously early in the litigation.
But in your opinion, as a lawyer, could they go bankrupt after this lawsuit, or they have a really strong and excellent customer agreement, and they are protected from cases like this? Are there any precedents in the past?
That's a great question. And I can tell you, since I represent people that are in the class action lawsuit, um, it is possible that they could file bankruptcy to seek protection because the damages are quite staggering. Um, so bankruptcy could be on the horizon. I certainly don't want to predict what they're going to do, but it depends on how this goes. And what's interesting is the damages are actually pretty well organized. So, and they're they're significant losses that they may face for what they did.
Hmm. I got it. What should investors do to join this Class A lawsuit? If I'm, let's say, if I was one of the person who, I don't know, lost money because of the actions, what should I do?
Sure, that good question. We at my website matlaw.com/class-action. There's a form, you can fill it out, and we need to kind of know, you know, what your loss is. Were you buying, selling, which brokerage, which stock? And then we will review the case and get back to you. And if we think that you're appropriate for the class, we'll let you know and we'll get you involved.
I think the hardest issue in this case just to prove that you lost some money in some way. Is it correct?
Yeah, and what's interesting is if you've had an account with one of these brokerages like Robinhood, and you bought, let's say, GameStop, and then suddenly you're locked out of the trading, you just need to say, look, I had this many shares, and this is what I wanted to do, and it's pretty easy to quantify your damages.
Hmm.
And there's some people that were forced out; they just sold their securities when they shouldn't have. And from the clients I've spoken to, what happened is Robinhood would sell it at the lowest price of the day, which really isn't fair at all. So it sounds like they breached their fiduciary duty to their client.
I got it. Matthew, thank you so much for your answers. We will keep in the loop our viewers about this case, and I hope in next few weeks we will see, maybe a few months, as we will see what happened next.
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you very much,
Thank
Dimitri.
you.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, let's come back to my studio. The most interesting part of this story and this lawsuit is how you can prove that you had the intention to buy a stock and that you missed out on an opportunity buying the stock because the stock went up shortly after you bought. But then what if the stocks goes down again in the future? Did they then protect you from losing money? How do you prove how many shares you would have even bought if you were going to buy shares? It's not like you were able to even swipe up attempt to buy the shares because the ticker symbols weren't even available to be seen, so you really have no way to even evidence. Even if we were able to swipe up, we have no idea if Robinhood even tracks what your swipe ups are if a trade confirmation don't come up. If the ticker symbols aren't available to trade, there is virtually no way to prove that you were trying to actually execute a trade. Then that also begs the question that even if you were able to execute the trade, how would the courts know that you were actually going to keep that trade for what period of time, from the bottom to exactly the peak, or do you measure from the bottom to the average of the future share price? As you may see, there is a lot of uncertainty with all this situation. It's not clear if the suit will be successful. The class actions and legal claims against Robinhood are really weak, said securities litigator Andrew Stallman. There are some really good protections that Robinhood has built into their new account agreement with customers that's going to make a class action very difficult to be successful. Robinhood's term of service gives the company the right to block, cancel and restrict transactions and even delete user accounts. It also includes an arbitration clause. I hope you find this news interesting and helpful for you, but please remember, I'm not a lawyer. If you want to take part in this A-class lawsuit, please contact your lawyer and ask specific questions. Thank you for watching my channel, subscribe and peace out.